What's up? Good morning, good people. Good morning, good people. For those who want to hear like news information early in the morning, even on Sundays, like my grandfather used to get the Sunday paper. The Sunday paper was the loaded paper. That's the one when you were going to get all the juicy facts behind the scenes, right? So, anyway, DMX's lawyer was put on the stand. Not his lawyer, but Michael Cohen's lawyers, put DMX and Swizz Beatz and others on the stand when he was mentioning trying to get some type of avoided jail time for Michael Cohen. You see, DMX, you know, and other were only to serve a year in jail in prison for his tax evasion. Cohen pled guilty to tax evasion, making false statements, and campaigning finance violations in August. He pleaded guilty to that. So ahead of his sentencing that's coming up next Wednesday, they're trying to make a case for the DMX so he don't get the more severe penalty that he did. I mean, it's a good grab because by using these celebrities and stars, it throws him up. He actually used Chris Tucker's tax situation of Willie Nelson, and this is the example that he used. For example, the United States versus Earl Simmons, who was DMX, a recording artist known as DMX, and engaged in a brazen multi-year scheme to fraudulent conceal millions of dollars of income and avoid paying 1.7 million in taxes by, among other things, arranging for hundreds of thousands of dollars of musical royalties to be deposited into the bank accounts of his managers, and then had portions of that money distributed to himself in cash or used to pay personal expenses, receiving half of the concert performance fees into the bank accounts of his managers, who then distributed the cash to him, and typically receiving the other half himself in cash, demanding payment for his participations in a reality television show without withholding taxes, failing entirely to file personal tax returns during a period when he earned more than $2.3 million dollars, and filing a false personal bankruptcy petition understanding his income. So they cited Swiss, they cited Chris Tucker, Willie Nelson. But here's the problem with you. You're doing this in a presidential campaign. Okay. He's just making rap music. These are artists. Okay. This is more than just tax violations that you have for the charges. Rigging, messing up funds for an election to determine the president of the United States of America? You admitted to lying to Congress about Trump's business dealings with Russia. Your guilty plea was a major development in the Robert Mueller investigation. When they were investigating the Russians for the presidential election. So not only did you just plead guilty to this, you pled guilty to that too. And I don't know, Trump's mistake was trusting somebody that looks like you. You know what I'm saying? Do anybody get what I'm saying? Lock them up. All right, go. What's up, Mr. Randolph? DMX pled guilty to tax evasion. He was sentenced to 1 year behind bars in order to pay 2.3 in restitution to the IRS. So they think Cohen should get nothing more than a year, but Dopey, who I call him, I don't know why Trump would trust a guy that looked like that guy is the kind of guy that would fold. You put your trust in a guy that looked like that, nothing about him said tough or strong. You knew he was gonna fold. I would never put him in there. I would have never done that. Not him. You don't have the spine for this. He's not designed for this. He ain't ready for that. You got Dopey in there. He looked like he was gonna give it up. They take away his cable. He was gonna, and we're gonna take away your cable. Whoa, what am I gonna watch? And we're taking your phone. I can't go. I was playing Words with Friends. It's my move. This is wrong. This is wrong. Like, sorry, gotta take it from me. Like, I'll tell you what you want to know. Yeah, he's not the kind of guy that can make it in jail. But they go to a different type of jail. Their jail was like club fed. In certain cases, they could even leave and go out and get something to eat and come back. Then they come back to a very lavish life. It's almost like summer camp. They never go to like real jail. They're playing tennis on the tennis courts. Yeah, it's like club fed over there. That's rich people jail. That's where your politicians go. Do you think they put politicians in general population? No. Right. It's a club. That's where Jordan Belfort went. The Wolf of Wall Street. He went to one of those. That's where the governor of Illinois, all of them, they end up going. That's what it is, Goo. That's what it is. He ate restaurant food. Yeah. They order out. They order out, and sometimes they've actually left the premises. Is Bill Cosby in Club Fed? I don't think so. Black politicians, they go to the same place. But how many black politicians go to jail? Not a lot. A lot of black politicians don't go to jail. I think the mayor of Detroit, yeah, that was it. Right. You think the mayor of Detroit went there? The mayor of Detroit was one of the biggest scam artists there was. Just like every other mayor of Detroit, just like the mayor of Chicago, the Dailies. They were a piece of work. So if you got a mayor, definitely don't trust him. That mayor bankrupt the city. See, back in the 80s, if you saw the movie White Boy Rick, they touched on it. See, in White Boy Rick, the mayor was the biggest guy who was selling the drugs and had all the people that was distributing the drugs through the police department and everybody else. They had crooked cops in Detroit, everything. Why they had a 15-year-old kid teaching them how to slang crack to try to break up a core crack organization. And the chief of police, his daughter was dating the biggest drug dealer in Detroit City. He don't need to be allied to a group. For what? I'm not finna go up there and make everybody popularity go through the roof. Oh, the former mayor? No. I don't know about what's going on with the current mayor of Detroit, the one that went to jail recently. Because Dave Bing, the former NBA player, he was running things in Detroit for a while. That was the former Detroit Pistons star, top 50 greatest players of all time, Dave Bing. Now he ain't the one that went to jail though. Dave Bing was he was legit. Yeah, they want to do it now because they sent politicians to jail. That's like putting cops in jail with everybody else. They'll kill them. Well, people live in worlds inside of worlds, and that's what that is. So when you live in a world inside of another world, this is what happens. Well, that's good, Cynthia. I'm glad you did. This is just the beginning. There's more to come today.